Bienvenidos a Les Chisme con Chanti Aybar. Ay, Dios mío. La comida es mi vida. Yo soy dominicana. Diablo, cuánta mierda yo hablo. Welcome to another episode, otro episodio de Les Chisme con Chanti. Y si ustedes no sabían, hoy the podcast is in English because we have your favorite gringa back here. But before, you already know the drill. Like, subscribe, share it so we can keep bringing you all this content from High Low Labs. And if you see, the labs look different. They look super pretty today. We don't have the couch because this is a spicy different episode. Ooh. And we have guests that know me really well. So I'm extremely nervous. They're probably going to turn me up in front of everyone, but it's okay. This episode is going to be super cool because we have three very alpha females, or females with a lot of masculine energy, as people say these days. That's the term that is used to say, right?
Yeah. A little triggering, Chanti.
Yes, they already got triggered, so it's working. And we're going to discuss that also with a perspective of my friend and producer from High Low Labs, Carlos, who's married to an also alpha female. So this is...
Oh, I know it. Let's go. Let's do it.
He lives with one at home. So this is a great conversation. You can't miss it. So first off, if you didn't know, to my right, I have Melanie.
Oh, wow. Whispered the last name. Hi, everybody. It's good to be back. Always here to support Let's Chisme, my friend Chanti.
Ay, tan linda. And to my left, I have Paola. I don't know. You have two last names. I don't know. Pick your poison.
Hi, Chanti. This is my first time, so I'm going to be very nervous. I'm going to talk all over the place, but
you know your name. But you know your last name, right?
Yes. Do you want to say it or no? You want to say incognito?
Paola Smeyer. Eso, I like it.
Pujol Smeyer.
Vete. She's like
half
gringa, half Dominican.
Have what?
And as I already said,
I'm the producer here. I'm keeping the ladies in check.
Whoa!
Carlos.
You're talking to the masculine energy of us over here.
It started. Let's go.
Cheers.
Ramped it up.
Salud.
Cheers, ladies. Salud. Salud. Uy. So, one of the things that have always bonded me and unite me to my friend Melanie is that we had like really strong fathers growing up. And I don't know if you can relate or not, but if this is your clan, stay here because this could be your tribe. We literally, since we were little, you have to be strong. You can't cry. You can do this. Literally, I moved countries because my father said, you're too smart for this. You need to push yourself more. So he shipped me to the U.S. Some people get shipped to El Salvador to a prison. I got shipped reverse to the U.S. to be like, push yourself.
UVA is not the same as an El Salvador prison, let me just say.
I know.
Sounds like an upgrade to me.
I know. Yes. Well, maybe people will call it upgrade, but I was like, I don't have a maid anymore. I have to cook. I have to clean. I have to do my own laundry. I'm like, what is this supposed to be like first world country? I was very shocked.
You had to become an adult.
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? We don't have somebody to help? And people asked me questions and I was like, well, how do you do this? And I was like, well, my driver. And they're like, what? Yeah, driver? So I had to relearn my story to kind of tame it so people won't be like...
Yeah, by the time I met you, you kept the driver under wraps. Yeah, it took 2 years before I found out about that.
But the driver and the maid and the gardener and...
it took me... And you, Paola, you grew up the same, so you understand.
Where did you grow up, Paola?
Santo Domingo.
Dominican. Fellow Dominican.
Yeah. She grew up the same way.
So it's a Dominican royalty right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's what I tell my wife. I married the Dominican princess.
Absolutely. These ladies qualify as that
In the States, we don't get that.
Yeah.
We have other princesses.
Exactly. So I guess I was shipped here to not be such a princess and be strong and be independent. And then
your parents probably send you to get a reality check.
Yeah, probably. It's like, oh, you've been handed everything. Go
it's
for
silver
it.
platter. They shipped you to Indiana to a military camp.
True statement. I missed that part. A military camp.
Gosh.
Can you believe that? It took me years to now be more feminine. Literally.
What's the purpose of military camp?
So it started It started at the beginning like, oh, I always like to be different. Let's just say that. And a friend of mine said, hey, my cousin is going to this military school. Super cool. It's really fun. Oh, you don't want to spend all the money in like one quinceañera party. Because, like back then, quinceañeras were even a bigger deal. So
It's like another wedding.
yeah, exactly. It's like your pre-wedding, Exactly. So it's like, you don't want to have everything blow out in one night. Maybe you want to do a trip. And I was like, oh, a trip sounds really cool. Right.
My wife did the same thing.
Yeah.
I
So
guess it's the thing.
Maybe that's the masculine energy. All three of them
exactly.
coming out.
Exactly.
They're
So
like, I don't need a frou-frou dress and a party. Like, I want a trip.
Exactly.
I'm also really practical. I'm like, that lasts one day. The trip can last a couple of weeks. So I was like, huh. So a friend of mine said, oh, let's do this camp. It's really fun. It's a lot of sports. And again, I was a full-on tomboy. And I'm like, a lot of sports? Sign me up. I'm going. They're like, yeah, there's a lot of things that are strict and military-like, but there's a lot of sports and a lot of competition. It's fun. And I was like, okay, let's try it. I'm like, let's go. And if you know me, I rarely say no. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's try it. And sure enough, midway through the military camp in Culver, Indiana, my parents, just from talking to me, they were doing the math. They were like, she's gonna want to return. Like, do we have the money to send her back? Like, she's gonna want to return.
Yeah.
And at that point, they actually started telling me that they didn't have enough money for me to go back, that it was so expensive.
They were probably lying to you.
No. It was like, no, this was 15 years ago, and it was
They
like
wanted you to stay in military.
No, literally.
Like, it's working. Let's keep her there.
Yeah.
The nicest way to say no is, honey, we can't afford to bring you back.
Yeah, maybe it was a strategy because it cost like 10 grand between the camp and the flights. It was
my
like,
parents were not about that life.
And back then, it's
grand.
more.
yeah,
Huge,
yeah. That's 10.
I never got to go to a sleepaway camp because of the cost.
Yeah, this was 10
Doug
grand.
was like,
Yeah, this was 10 grand in 2008.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like a lot. So I remember. And again, I was an entrepreneur. I already had done jewelry. I had like savings for my jewelry business. So,
Wow.
I'm already like, So I literally love this military camp so much that I said, okay, can you help me pay for the security deposit? And I'll work during the winter and sell a bunch of jewelry. I mean, you see, I had a feminine side, guys. I work and I said,
Yeah, but the business part
Right,
of it.
right. The business part of it. You're not helping my case, but okay. So I said, I'll work during the winter between exams. I said, between exams, I can make a lot of jewelry, get some contracts, sell jewelry, and then I can get some money to pay for half. Like, if I pay half, would that be?
Did you make enough money to
Yeah.
pay for half? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I didn't know this part, Chantal.
And my dad loved to do a deal. And he.
Oh, yeah. My dad, too.
My dad was like, you need to have skin in the game. Like, how he taught me equity. Like, what banks nowadays, we're in finance, me and Melanie, what banks call equity. My dad was like, you have to have skin in the game. So I said, what if I pay half? All right, let's see. And I literally, everybody that asked, what do you want for Christmas? I asked for money for my camp. I had like this was not like a GoFundMe because those things were not in Dominican Republic, but unofficially.
Yeah.
They probably didn't exist, but if they did, you
If
probably
they
did.
did,
Yeah, you would
She
have
would have
done
run
one.
that angle, too.
Exactly. Plus, I did jewelry, and I would do one day take a test, study. The next day, make jewelry. The next day, test and make jewelry. The next day, study. And I literally would alternate. And my mom would cut me off to make sure like I would not fail school. Yeah. Literally, that's how I am to this day. And how you see like I have many projects and I'm like, do this, then do this one, and I'm like, doo, doo, doo. So that's how it all started. And then they shipped me. Well, I went to the US after that. It was like ingrained in me, like, you're gonna compete with Americans. You have to do so. I did all the testing. I did all the things. I had private tutors. And then by the time I came to the US, I was like, what's this all about? And by the third month, I was like, I need help. I was like, I don't know how to cook. I need like arroz con pollo, habichuela. I'm like, I'm tired of this dining hall food. I ran out of money. I didn't know how to run my own money.
Oh, I didn't know this either.
I ran out of money. And my mom said, Well, start paying with the credit card that I gave you. And when you come home for winter break, this was now 2011. She said, we'll settle accounts and you'll work for your
You'll pay
dad.
it off.
You'll work for your dad or something and you'll pay it off.
There you go.
And that's when I got the craftiest I've gotten in my life. Instead of going to Starbucks, I started going to John's in the corner. Literally. It was John's in the corner.
McDonald's coffee.
Literally. I started like taking knives from the dining hall and taking like apples and bananas. And I would take the knife to cut the apples and bananas. I would take like extra peanut butter wrapped in something. It was so ratchet.
Goodness.
It was so bad. But I was like,
You learned the value of $1.
Exactly. How did you learn it?
How did I learn it? Well, my dad also is a banker, like Chanti's. So from the time I was like a little kid, he would literally bring out the newspaper with the stocks, explain the stock market to us.
The stock market?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Talk about
no.
buying and selling, how
That's
they
intense.
value it. Oh, intense is the correct word.
That's awesome.
He did also when I really wanted to study abroad. And he really wanted me to study abroad. He was like always saying like it's so good for you to learn, to grow, to get out in the world. He had backpacked in high school. So I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do it. And I found this program in Italy because it was cheaper than the one in London. He started to see the bill and like what it was going to cost him. And he was like, I don't know about the study abroad thing. I'm already hooked, right? Like I have plans. I'm ready to do this. So it was going to cost, I think like $6,000 or something for 2 classes and room and board in Italy and Florence. And he's like telling me the max budget he's going to give me for the whole summer, which is traveling to other places in addition to what I'm doing, is like $10,000. And I have to drain my savings. Like all of my savings was only $2,000 to my name. I had to put into it. And I came up with this genius idea, what I thought was a genius idea.
Of course.
And I looked it up and I realized that I could save $1,000 if I only did 1 class instead of 2 classes. And that $1,000 could go more towards like the places I really wanted to visit, like Paris and London and whatever. So I sit him down. I'm like, Dad, I have such a good idea.
I can take less classes.
I was like, listen, like, let me take 1 less class and then I have more money to spend on other things that are more important. He lost his mind. He was like, Melanie, what do you think this is? Some kind of a boondoggle? I was like, what? I was so offended. I thought it was such a good idea. Eventually, he got on board. But eventually, you convinced him. I mean, he just like kind of had no choice because I was like, I'm only taking 1 class. But he didn't let me take the cooking class. I was really mad. My friend Holly was doing cooking in Italy. And he's like, absolutely not. So I had to take Renaissance art, which was so boring. But that was the compromise.
That was the compromise.
Dude,
I bet the cooking class would have been more useful.
Right? For
You
life
know,
skills?
I ask you cooking questions all the time. He made a big mistake.
Right?
Yes.
People think, but for life skills, that would have been better.
Yes.
Totally.
I was
Long term.
telling her that the first time I like held raw chicken, I was like 22 because I had moved here and I had to learn how to cook.
Wait, one question. Did you call your maid from back home? Did you WhatsApp
No.
her? Did you WhatsApp her?
No, you know what the thing? I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Walk me through.
Yes. Like Dominican food, I feel like there's people that just have the talent or don't have the talent.
Okay.
And there's a certain like seasoning that you gotta have. But I can do well with like recipes. You give me a recipe and I
can
follow
follow.
instructions, especially savory. If it's like baking and stuff,
You're like,
also
no.
bad. Terrible. But like savory food and, you know, that I can follow a recipe, it's fine. I've done a few Dominican things that turn out fine. And yes, I have to call my dad actually. Not
You call
the
your
maid.
dad?
I call my dad. And he's not the one that cooks in my house, but he's the one that knows all these things.
Oh,
I don't know.
funny.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Well,
I-
yes, I have to have him on speed dial and I call him like every 5 minutes. Every time I pour an ingredient, I have to call him. So what's next? So yeah, like the first time I did that, I was like 22.
So where did your masculine energy come
Yeah.
from then? I don't know as much about your story, Paola.
Well, I mean, both my parents are like very like go-getters.
Oh.
I'm not that much of like a hustler because they did spoil me a lot, I have to say.
She is the more princess of the 3.
they
Really?
did spoil me a lot, but they did instill in me a lot of like I had to be great in school, straight A's, like you have to go to college, not only college, like
So the
I had
standard.
to do, yeah, like
high
American
standards.
standard.
masters. Like I actually
Oh,
thought,
you had to do a master's too?
yes,
Oh, wow.
What is it with masters? Like,
because
I feel like
it's
this is a
like-
big Dominican like thing
Yeah.
because like my nephew's like, oh, I need to do my
No,
masters,
no.
and I'm like,
Literally, I almost lose
Interesting.
my family over this.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, you have to have a master's. And in Dominican Republic, when I applied to jobs here and in the US, because when I graduated, I was like, okay, do I go back to Dominican Republic? Do I stay here? Literally, the person that was helping with the resume was a high up executive at a bank. Because again, my family does banking and they have connections, and he had graduated from the same school that I went to. So he had a soft spot because, you know, I was going to the same school and he knows it's a great school. And so we connected over that and he was helping me. And then after, when he helped me fix my resume, he's like, well, typically for these kinds of jobs, you need a master's and this is the starting salary. But for you, I'll exempt the master's.
Wow.
Literally, Carlos, like that was the first
Interesting.
thing. I was getting a job right out of UVA. And he's like, typically for this kind of jobs, we require a master's and this years of experience, but I'll let you because I went to that same school.
I
So-
think it depends on the industry.
well,
I was
I
about
know
to
in the
say
DR
that.
it's like they're heavy on doctors, they're heavy like on lawyers.
yeah,
like,
No, but
so-
even
so
for
a lot of
banking,
education.
even for banking, they are big on masters. Which in the U.S., like most of the people that we know, don't have a master's and they're
My
successful.
dad does. He has his MBA.
Here's also the thing. I wanted to be a lawyer. So here in the state, and if I wanted to live here or like come here,
Wait, why did you decide to come here? Because your parents don't live here.
no. Well, my husband was already here. My boyfriend at the time, he was already here.
so you were chasing him.
So
Oh wow, look at you.
That
It's a
had
love story.
that factored into a lot.
Romeo,
into the start.
save me.
I love that. I didn't know. So he came first. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then you were like, okay, I gotta go.
So I actually,
I gotta leave princess
the
status.
master's thing was always gonna happen.
Okay.
But at the time when we were dating, I was gonna go to Spain.
Okay.
And at the time, there was like a lot of what do you call that? Like
It's like transfer credits.
agreements.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
transfer
with-
credits and stuff with schools.
But something happened. Obviously, I wanted it to be like a scholarship if it was to Spain, and
yeah.
So the scholarship didn't go through. So I was like, okay. I mean, I guess Miami is another option. Why? I don't know.
Because
Maybe
every
there's
Latino starts in Miami. Yeah.
Maybe there's someone that I know that lives there already, and
that I might be calling my boyfriend.
maybe.
that I might have been dating long distance for 3 years.
Maybe. Exactly. So I just put that all together, etc. And well, the academic part of it is here in the States, for you to like practice law, you have to do undergrad 4 years, then 3 years of law school, then sit for the bar.
She found a cheat code.
So
I love it. Another
The
negotiator.
the
I love
hack
this. I love
is okay. I do my
Okay,
law
pay
school.
attention. Hack.
the hack.
So you
pro
do
tip.
law school there, and then I get to have my degree, like my law degree, 4 years. Then I do my master's here, 1 year, and then I get to sit for the bar. For the
Cut
New
out
York
2
bar.
years.
So, you saved 2 years doing that.
And money.
Exactly.
And of course, because
And time.
in Dominican Republic it's so much cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
So then I got
Muy
to
inteligente.
do, so I did that, did law
So
school.
is that when you learned the value of the dollar? Because you were going to be responsible?
Well, I guess, if you can say that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then,
Again, I was really very spoiled, but for some reason, I don't know how I learned to deal with money, because I wasn't like, I don't spend that. I mean, my husband would think otherwise, but I'm not like a crazy spender.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But my parents did teach me like to budget, and
how did they teach you? What was their strategy?
I don't know. My dad always said, like, in Spanish, there's a phrase like you cover yourself until the
Oh,
blanket.
I love that. Tú
Yeah,
te,
like
tú te
that,
arropas donde te llegue la sábana.
Exactly.
I was taught the same way.
Yes.
Like, it's like you cover yourself with the blanket up until it like fits. So if it's a short blanket, you only cover till your hip.
Oh.
If it's a longer blanket, you cover to your boobs. If it's like,
okay.
So yeah, it's like a way to like.
Can you say it in
literally-
Spanish? Say it in Spanish.
Yeah, uno se cubre hasta donde la sábana le llegue.
Exacto.
Yeah.
Oh,
You learn
and
something new
also-
every day.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember because of the Spain thing, and I had to, because if it was Miami, like someone had to pay for it, right? I didn't have one single cent. I was still
You
like,
had
a
nothing
student.
to your name.
No. So I remember I did like this PowerPoint presentation to my dad.
Another
And
negotiator.
I did this like budget, and I was like, I'm not even. You don't even need. I don't even need a car because I can get an apartment nearby where there's the train. And my dad's like, you will need a car in Miami. I'm like, no, I don't need a car. 2 months in, I needed a car.
I can walk anywhere.
I'll be fine.
You're like, I'll
90
be
degree
perfect.
heat, steamy.
So yeah, I guess
I love the
started.
PowerPoint.
I know.
I have a question for you. Where'd you meet your now husband?
Yes, husband.
In the DR or here?
Yeah, in
In the
DR.
DR.
We were neighbors.
Neighbor.
Mm,
And Carlos,
Yes, ma'am.
your turn.
yes.
What was
How
the
do you
question again?
deal with a strong female? Because your wife is just like we've described, because she's
know-
a serial entrepreneur.
You know, so I was brought up, I'm Mexican. In macho land, the women cook, clean, they stay home, right? But I think I saw my mom living such a hard life at home where it's like she was a natural leader. And I always saw my dad kind of like dim her down. And I said,
Mm.
and you know, I'm the oldest, so it's me and 3 girls. So I'm the only boy.
Oh.
I think that helped.
And I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
mom like many times like sad or like, you can't say anything as a woman. Like you just suck it up and you do
Yeah.
your life. But I would see my mom and I'd be like, man, I'd never want to treat my wife that way.
So
Like
you were
I-
like very intuitive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
my feminine. It's in my feminine.
I love it. You're tapped into the feminine. That's so good,
No, no.
Carlos. That's so good.
Yes.
No,
But
we have both energies in
I
all of
saw
us.
mom frustrated many times, and I'm like, man, I never want to see my wife angry or bitter because there's no opportunity. Then God gave me this wife that told like
I came in like a wrecking
She
ball.
and
That is definitely his wife.
but what I liked about her, she pushed me to become a better me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I came from a 9-to-5
And
job,
she was the entrepreneur, which is I love that.
entrepreneurship world again.
Oh.
Princess Diaries Part 3.
Yeah. No, literally the roles for them was reversed, and I love that. Literally, she was the one that was like, no, we're building our path.
So I'm here 9-to-5 job because my dad was 9-to-5 job. All his siblings are 9-to-5. Like that's what I just knew. Entrepreneurship for me was a little like, what? Like, how do you not have a full-time job?
Scary.
It's very scary. So her leaning into like, we could do this, you could do this. But what I appreciated about my wife is that she never pushed me. Like she never nagged me, because there's a problem where it's like women can tend to be nags.
Mhm.
FYI.
Listen, every time I hear that, I'm like, F you.
I don't think he's wrong though. It's,
and let me
it's all
tell
about
you why.
how.
It's how you. It's how
As
you
a
deliver.
man, you want to be able to understand, like, I'm the leader. I could do this. I could push.
True.
When you have someone telling you, you need to be the leader. You need to do this.
Yeah,
you need
it's,
to
it's
push.
not gonna
like,
come.
just leave me alone. It needs to come naturally. And she did that. She just shut her mouth. She sat back. She let me do. And she prayed me. And she has this saying. She's like, I prayed him up instead of nag him down.
That's
Oh
amazing.
wow!
So-
I love that saying.
Years later, I was able to understand, like, okay, this is what I want in my life. This is what I want to do. I want to be and obviously the leader in me kind of grew in me because I'm more like my mom than my dad. But I just said, you know what? I want to see her shine. And now we're co-founders in a business. And it's funny because she's always like, well, you could do it. And I'm like, no, we could do. Like, let's do it
Ay,
together.
that's so cute. I love it.
So we got interviewed for this magazine. It's Yahoo News because there was this article being written about us.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And the reporter was like, she sent me the draft and it said, Carlos, business owner of Hi Hello Labs. Everything else was great. But it said, you need to change that first bit. You need to say Carlos and Carolina, co-owners and co-founders of Hi Hello Labs. In my mind, it's like, this is the way of me giving back, but also honoring that it's a duo thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just
Of course.
just me or just her. And she does the reverse. So which again,
Not-
it's almost like it's
like you feed off each other.
exactly. And
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But that's my
I have a question. So as women who are strong, like all three of us are very strong personalities.
Yeah.
You're a lawyer and you're head of your department. I have a team. You do something so unique in what you do at your bank and are used to running things and also have side businesses and things like that. So, but your wife is similar, but she found a way to nurture you rather than nag you. So what advice would you have for people like us who naturally just want to take control? We're used to being leaders.
True statement.
We're used to, just type A, like taking over. So how do we channel that energy and still be ourselves and not dim our lights, but also at the same time not be a nag?
This is the $1 million question.
I think from a man's perspective, what I appreciated is that she was patient. She didn't, because again, you guys are.
Wait 1 second. ¿Tú tienes paciencia? Are you patient?
Well, it depends.
Yes or no?
I think I am very patient.
No.
But Carolina wasn't either. So she had to learn.
Okay.
There's hope for us.
And here's the thing. It's like, I think when you meet your other half and you're like, okay, this is the man I want to be with or the woman I want to be with, you need to understand, like, this is a lifelong decision. At least it was for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know that a lot of people think differently, where it's like, oh, there's all these flavors, the more the merrier. And there's some people that's like, no, I want one and that's what I want. So when it came to us, and I think Carolina portrayed this very well, is that she understood, okay, this is going to be my husband, the father of my children, the leader of our home. And I need to understand that he is the one that's placed, again, because like we're Christian, we're very religious. So we know that like God comes first, and then it's like the man and then the wife and the kids and that, so on and so forth.
I'm so proud of her.
But it's very easy for the man to be able to take advantage of a situation and be like, well, you need to obey what I say and you need to do what I tell you to do. And it's like, how is that a leader?
Mm.
In the general sense of the term, like,
That's a good point.
you lead by serving.
And
So
inspiring.
I have led my family and my wife by serving her and being like, what can I do for you? How can I serve you? How can I make you happy?
I love that.
And I guess it just kind of came
Then
naturally.
you both want to do that together.
And then how long did it take her to become patient? Because that's the part that I want to know.
I think when we had kids,
Okay.
because she was the leader. Obviously, we worked for the same company, and she managed the department, and I managed another department. And she was a leader herself. But I think when children came about,
then she
like,
softened. Okay.
and then we had a child with autism, so that was another
another layer
where it's like she really needed to be patient where I wasn't. And then at the end of it, it's like we started a business because of our need. So she understood, okay, I can't do this myself, so I need somebody to help me. Because again, it's easy for any leader or any person to think, I can do this myself. I don't need
I mean,
anybody.
we have to learn because like she has an assistant. The assistant messes up. She's like, oh, I'll do it. I literally have a product partner for everything. Carlos, I learned it just in case they screw up, and I do it. Or I'm like, oh, if they can't show to the meeting, I'll do it myself.
Mhm.
Melanie also, she literally is supposed to just bring the information. She goes and underwrites the deal and double checks before it gets submitted, which is not even her job. That's another whole job that has another
more
pay.
efficient. You make sure you're like, oh, I know this one loan's gonna get approved, so now I can send it.
Yeah, so that part it's tough.
But I tell you what, like, I see so many skills in my wife that it's like, oh man, I would not survive without XYZ situation. Like, I need her. Like, even in the business, it's like you have to come in. Like, I can't handle certain things, and vice versa, because we've been able to trust each other and know that whatever he says goes and whatever she says goes. It doesn't matter if we F up at the end. We did it together, and that's it.
And how long have you been together?
13 years.
It's
Lucky
a
number 13.
We just turned 13, May 26th.
wow.
Oh, congratulations. Cheers. to
Cheers.
that.
Cheers to
Cheers.
that.
Uy. And with that, I don't know. What do you think? Male, female energy? Is it worth it? Is it not? How can we get better? Let me know your thoughts, comments. Did you think we were as strong as we said? We try to be tame today, but but if you have questions, comments, I hope you took something out of it because you can both have a balance and nurture your energies, just like Carlos said. Love having you.
Yes.
Señores, les chisme and see you next time.